Hi, I'm Nikki Friedman. Welcome back for day 12 of the Wonder Wife Workshop. So, yesterday we were speaking about the importance of using positive language when we speak with our husband in order to counterbalance that with any negativity that we may be bringing into the relationship. We talked about, in general, utilizing a ratio of 3 to 1, where the positive statements are outbalancing the negative statements. So one Wonder Wife brought to my attention, and once again, I love your feedback, so keep it coming, guys. One person brought to my attention the importance of self-care. And the way that she put it was like this. For those of us who have a hard time speaking in positive terms to our husbands, we spoke about the idea that maybe that's coming from a place of not having had it modeled for us appropriately, or possibly a place of our own low self-esteem. And connected to that could be the idea that if we aren't fueling ourselves with appropriate self-care, then it will be very hard for us in general to be givers, whether it's giving to our husband in a positive way, giving to our families, giving to others in really all realms of our lives. So one thing I ask you to think about is, what are you doing for your self-care to really fuel yourself and your own positive emotions and feelings and thoughts, so that you can then reflect that to everybody else who you are relating to throughout the day, specifically in our case, our husbands, right? So I'll give you an example. One thing that I did for myself today was, I love crafts, all different types of crafts. I love painting. I'm actually broadcasting today from my craft room in my home. And so one thing I did today was I bought myself a loom with some really fun, vibrant yarns, colors, and different types of textures. So I'm really excited about that. And that's something that has just already, by making that purchase for myself, infused a whole sense of energy and positivity that I can then in turn be able to give to my husband and to my family around me. Another thing that we had mentioned yesterday was the idea of the importance of cultivating an attitude of gratitude. And I promised that I would give you guys some practical tools for how to actually turn that into a reality. So here we go. Okay, tool number one, a real popular one that a lot of people are familiar with, is creating a gratitude journal. And you can do this in terms of specifically for your husband. And once again, these techniques that we're talking about can really be extended to so many different realms in our lives. So a gratitude journal means you spend a few moments every day jotting down 2 to 3 things that you are grateful for your husband about. Okay, and they could be little things like we have mentioned before, he takes out the garbage. It could be something about his personality. I'm grateful that my husband is so social and is really like the life of the party, and I appreciate that about him. Or I really appreciate that my husband is more quiet spoken and doesn't need a lot of attention, right? So things like that. So the beautiful thing about this is you can create this gratitude journal for yourself, and then it's really special if at some point, maybe for an anniversary or a birthday present, that you actually give that to your husband and share with him all of these positive things, right? So for some of us who have a hard time expressing verbally this positive feedback to our husbands, having it in writing could be a really helpful tool. Another thing is to make sure that we're really integrating this into our day every day. So like right now you're listening to this recording, so it's on your mind. But maybe in a few days from now, you're going to be onto some other tool. So a really helpful technique is to set a timer. If you have a phone that you carry with you or something else, a reminder of some sort, maybe a little bracelet on your wrist, to set a timer, let's say on your phone, that every hour it goes off, or every 2 to 3 hours it goes off, whatever works for you. And that's a moment where you stop and you focus on something that you're grateful for your husband. Once again, it doesn't have to be that you're writing down. It could be just stopping and saying, I'm dedicating this moment to just focusing on gratitude, so that we're really setting these reminders for ourselves to make sure that we're integrating it into our day. And the last thing I wanted to leave you with for today was just a little visualization technique. So Dr. John Gottman, who we've mentioned a lot of times in this class already, who does research on marriages, he studies couples long-term based on the way that they dialogue with one another, and he looks at long-term outcomes. So one of the things that he's found in his research is that couples who have a hard time even recollecting from their past something positive are really in trouble. But couples who maybe in the moment are kind of not at ease with one another, but can at least close their eyes and recall in their mind positive memories and positive circumstances that they had with their spouse, those couples really have what to fall back on, because those memories they can really hold on to, and it can rekindle that flame once again in the marriage. So, what I would ask you to do is to take a few moments to close your eyes and to think about something positive, a certain scene that you can really visualize where you see your spouse in the moment and you are just drawn to them. So like an example, with my own husband, for example, when my husband plays the guitar, when he gets into his like creative musical mode, I'm just like, oh, wow, like you have me, right? So for some of us, it's something like that. For some of us, it could be the way that our spouse maybe spends time with our parents or with our grandparents, the way that they are with the kids. It could be a specific scene where you did something special with your husband. So to be able to just close your eyes and go to that place so clearly in your mind where you can like hold that scene in your mind and just hold it there for a good minute and really meditate on that so that you're bringing that moment back alive in this moment. So if you can hold on to that and think about how you feel in that moment and try to regenerate those warm, positive feelings, then we have that memory to go back to tune into in moments where maybe things aren't feeling so warm and fuzzy. So I'm curious to hear how these tools are working for you. Once again, I really welcome your feedback, and I'm looking forward to continuing the discussion. Thank you for listening.